I'm your host, Locum23. You're joining me for X-Files, Episode 7. So there it is. What Senator Knudsen told me is confirmed. The Pierce Institute's been contracted to oversee the X-Files. A.D. Skinner hides it well, but I imagine his pride's taken a beating. He has to take orders from a civilian consultant, Gregory Pierce. I look over to Agent Fulton. He doesn't seem to be a fan of this development either, even though Pierce is his mentor. Fulton, you're excused. I need a moment with your partner. Fulton gets to go and then stops at the door. He looks at me. Dexler, you good? I could use a coffee, maybe a snack. Oh, look at the time. I better get going. Fulton checks this pretend watch on his wrist, pulling it straight. It's cute. I turn back to Skinner, hearing the door close behind me. Agent Dexler, I know you value the X-Files' existence. That's why I'm coming to you. The Pierce Institute is being granted power without precedent. It's concerning, to say the least. You'll be in the field with Pierce's people. I want to know everything they do and say in your presence. Of course. Sure, I'll keep you informed, sir. I'd love to leave the discussion at that, but there's a nagging thought that won't let me. What am I supposed to do or make of you sending Agent Fulton away? Can I trust him? That has nothing to do with Fulton. As an agent, his relationship to Pierce, good or bad, skews his perspective. I need dispassionate, unvarnished reporting. That's what you'll give me. I leave Skinner's office with my head spinning. There's so much to process. The Institute, Fulton, X-Files hacks. This Hey Guys person calling me, claiming to be the founder of the Magic Bullets group behind the hack, saying he wants to help me. I wonder how Skinner's senior agents are reacting to Pierce news. They must see this as an insurrection. No way Mulder and Scully are going to accept Pierce Institute's oversight, right? As much as I'd like to. I'm gonna pass. It's neither here or there for me. Really, I have to pack for San Francisco and get to work on the latest case. Over 10 days, a social media account has correctly predicted the chances of death of 4 Stanford students, each within an hour of their demise. While Fulton's been sent to investigate the deaths themselves, I'm tasked with learning about the account making the predictions. Just as odd as the Ashtag account's spot-on predictions is to claim by the app's creator, Ty Wright, that the account doesn't actually exist. Fulton and I are being paired with Pierce Institute consultants, which, whether this scenario is a new status quo, I have no clue. I also have no clue who I'm being partnered with. I know exactly one Pierce employee, the one who helped me survive Alaska. After my flight and check-in, I ride-share to M.M. Wright corporate headquarters in Palo Alto, where I met with my Pierce partner, Doggett. John Doggett, Marine turned cop, turned federal agent, turned consultant. His smile is a sunny morning. I feel myself beaming from ear to ear as I stride towards him. He offers a handshake. Professional. I take Doggett's hand and shake a little too vigorously while giving him a sardonic smirk. Yes, indeed. Very good to see you, Mr. Doggett, sir. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm such a dork. Good to see you too, Dexler. We start to stroll towards the steel and concrete office building. I wonder if it might be you they'd pair me up with. I don't even do field work anymore. I'm pretty much Greg Pierce's right hand. But when I heard I could work with you again, well, I tried to flee the country, but they nabbed me at the border. You're X-Files now, huh? And on purpose. I worked with someone like that once. Just once. Oh, that's a lie. You know Skinner won't get rid of me that easily. Doggett looks at me, chuckles to himself, and looks away. Seems the world's been good to you these past years, Dexler. I worked hard for it. I got as good as I gave, you know? It took a lot of blood, sweat, and brain cells to get this far. No doubt. We step inside. There's a sharply dressed executive assistant, radiating charisma, greets us. Mr. Doggett, Agent Dexler, I'm Gina Mathis, assistant to CEO Ty Wright. Welcome to M.M. Wright campus. Please take a pass card. Employees and visitors must have one at all times. We prefer our doors to be open to all, but it isn't practical. We follow Miss Mathis from the roomy atrium into an only slightly less roomy workspace illuminated by indirect sunlight from large windows. A couple dozen young coders occupy open stations. It sounds like a brook is babbling somewhere, but I don't see it. That's typing. Despite the lovely atmosphere, the coders look hopeless, stressed, exhausted. As Miss Mathis takes up to us to Ty Wright's office, she tells a polished version of the write-up I read on the plane. Wright worked non-stop for months on the code for the RNR app in his studio apartment, she says, living off of credit cards. Must be nice. Venture capitalists were so wowed by Wright's prototype that he became worth $500 million on paper overnight. Ty demanded that he retain full autonomy, which he has instilled in our corporate culture. Independence is key to uncorking the full potential of M.M. Wright's pool of talented employees. Do you work better alone or a team? What are your goals? Letting each other individual decide empowers them. Sounds like easy street. My time in the service taught me the need for structure, rigor, what stops anyone from choosing what's easiest in collecting a paycheck. Well, it's common misunderstanding. We prevent that by hiring only the most motivated candidates. I recognize Ty Wright from the pictures, like a Silicon Valley cliché. He's got a t-shirt, cargo shorts, and flip-flops. Ty, I was finishing their tour. Thank you, Jenna. I'm sure they'd love to get to the meat of it. Let's convene in my den. He turns around with a lazy wave, and we follow him into the office he calls his den. Most of the room is just your typical executive office. Contemporary, sterile, but look to the other side. There's a plush couch, recliners, an HD TV, and more gaming consoles than any one person needs. I see this. I know where this room is. So, I don't want to waste any more of your time or your partners, so I'll put it right out here. Wright sees the older white male and assumes he's in charge, and an afterthought to him. We're not trying to hide anything. That Ashtag account absolutely does not exist on our servers. But even if Ashtag did exist, my company is not responsible for messages, ratings, or reviews posted on R8R. Death threats included. It is in our terms of service. Any Ashtag theories? You built R8R. How do you suppose these Ashtag posts are getting into people's feeds? I wouldn't know. I don't do InfoSec. I don't expect you to understand. Okay, here you little dimwit mother... Excuse me? He turns to Doggett with exasperation. Dude, come on. Don't you have any questions? Doggett takes a quick glance towards me, probably to see how much steam is coming out of my ears. Yeah. How do you feel your employees are handling the Ashtag business? Anyone in particular seem off to you? Oh, my security chief, Roberto, he's taken it kind of personally. It's driving him nuts that he can't figure it out. And there have been a few who want me to pull the plug in the whole thing, but that just isn't possible. Why not? Wright squares off to face me. His expression says he's had enough. Oh, why is it every time the woman asks a question you have a problem? Because it isn't. Whatever you and your girl need, let Jenna know, okay? Thanks! Wright saunters over to his desk and pretends to look at emails. Jenna ushers us outside and closes the doors. As Ty said, anything you need, let me know. You're welcome to go anywhere your pass card allows. Where's your security chief you mentioned? Roberto Alameda. His office is just off the main innovation hub. The room with the brook. Oh boy, you actually have a brook. Never mind. Miss Mathis departs, leaving me alone with Doggett. You let me down. No? She say the brook. Wright was rude. I can't believe how terse he was. You'd think he'd never had to deal with people before. He's probably got enough real wealth now that he doesn't have to. Hopefully he finds me approachable so I can effectively follow up. I'm sure we'll have to. You can have the follow-up. Good luck. What do you say we go find that security chief? Before I can answer Doggett, my phone sounds off. Fulton, I'd better take this. Tell him hey from me. I'll find the office and swing back. Fulton, what's up? I had some downtime. Wanted to see how things are going over there. The CEO's a turd. The dude, Wright, thinks because I'm young and or female, I couldn't possibly be a lead investigator. Did you tell him off? No, we need to work with him. Doesn't mean I won't get the chance later. I'm sure you will. Who did Pierce pair you up with? Doggett. He's told me to say hi. Oh, no kidding. He swore off field work last year. Huh. Fulton pauses, presumably expecting me to say more about Doggett. So, that's everything from this end. How are things on campus? It turns out 2 of the Ashtag victims knew each other. We used to hang out together. Oh, really? And the other ones? No connections there as yet, but I feel like we're just scratching the surface. Well, if they're all connected in some way, even casually, that would be really something. Fulton looks off, seeing something. I've gotta go. Talk to you soon. Found the security chief's office. What did Fulton have to say? There's a connection. 2 of the victims knew each other. College students on the same campus. Hardly a surprise, but it could be something to go on. Come on, I'll take you to Alameda. We make it to Mr. Alameda's office door, finally catching sight of the lovely, calming brook along the way. Bass and heavy metal riffs penetrate the door. As I knock progressively harder, I think Mr. Alameda could use some brook time. After I pound with the side of my fist, the music stops. A few seconds later, the door opens. Who the hell are you? Oh, you look really happy to see me. We're met by a ragged, unshaven man. His eyes seem wild and exhausted at the same time. Agent Dexler, FBI, this is Mr. Doggett. Are you Security Chief Roberto Alameda? That's what it says on the door, isn't it? What is this, the Ashtag thing? What else? Is there any other reason federal investigators might come to speak with you? You guys don't do parking tickets, right? We let the remark sit without comment. Mr. Alameda sighs. He's clearly feeling put upon. But there's something else. Please, come on in. It's not like I have 10 million things to do. Before I even enter, I brace against the wafting smell of 10 kinds of takeout and a pungent body odor. Empty energy cans, crumpled paper, styrofoam boxes litter the room. Hard to believe he's allowed to keep his office like this. Alright, so, you want to know how someone's posting without an actual account, right? You figured it out? Mr. Alameda makes a face like I'm a complete idiot. I can show you what I do know. Here's the first post I pulled from my own app feed. Monitor displays the posting from Ashtag to the first victim. At clean air. You die now. Period. Hashtag Ashtagged. The only data is the timestamp, the account's name, and the avatar, and the text of the post. There's no metadata, no unique key, account ID, IP of origin. It should throw errors, reject the post, but that doesn't happen. It's like it bypassed our servers and went straight to the apps, but the apps have a handshake to confirm all data comes from us, so... Okay. I just solved your case for you. Someone's connecting directly hardlined into your servers. You just literally solved your own case. In other words, it's gonna be sent directly to individuals' phones. No way to identify the source. Maybe an inside job. It is likely that someone who worked on the app set up a backdoor you don't know about? For all I know, Ty made a backdoor at the start. He denies it, but it's possible, though just barely. We've been peer-reviewing every function, every object, every line, nothing out of place. Even if one of ours made Ashtag, they can't cover up their code. Someone would find it. Not if you're a really good hacker and can remove your trail. I used to do this for a living. Moving on. Mr. Alameda drifts off, staring, troubled, at his large ceramic coffee mug. He must be stressed to no end. I looked at Doggett, who's waiting for me to continue, awfully different from working with Fulton. Then I looked at the mug, which reads, Number 1 Boyfriend. Based on the rings inside, coffee's been evaporating in it for weeks. Mr. Alameda, what do you think of the app? What do I think? Its architecture's incredible, elegant, complexity. But R8R itself, how it functions out in the world. I hear the complaints. A lot of people here, they wish they could be working on anything else but me. Alameda sours even more, which I didn't think was possible. I wish I'd met my ex on it. Then I could warn everyone. Yeah, she's hot. What a frigid bitch. Did you know the deceased? The 4 who have been Ashtag. Had you heard of them before? Any acquaintances there? I knew who Randy Tully was. The most recent one, a football guy. He played with heart. Could really take a hit. But no, I didn't know him. And the others. Alameda shrugs. He doesn't even get the I'm checking him for motive. Okay, I think we're done here, Doggett. Yeah, we're done. Any developments, no matter how trivial, be sure to let us know. We step outside and close the door behind us. Death metal immediately starts up on the other side. So far, everyone seems extremely well adjusted with healthy views on women. So that's good. Doggett reveals a hint of smirk in case his deadpan sarcasm wasn't apparent. So what do you make of this whole Ashtag thing so far, Doggett? It wouldn't shock me to find out someone here is behind it. What about you? It's paranormal. Agreed. It's someone here. Maybe hackers. I'm gonna stick with my thought of someone here. Alameda seems like the type, but I wouldn't buy it's him. Too obvious. Maybe it's Wright himself. You suspected inside joke. Yeah, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it on this one. It's hard to see direct motive there, unless he wants the sensationalism, but he's got ample opportunity. Look, you've handled yourself fine so far. Let's split up. We'll cover more ground. Doggett heads back to the executive-level offices. I decide to drop by some workstations. The employees are less upfront about it in groups, but it's clear they're overworked, mistrustful, and low on morale. Pretty much like any place like this, customer service included. In spite of their woes, they say they're grateful to Ty Wright for his hands-off leadership and fearless trailblazing. I wonder if they've fallen victim to Stockholm Syndrome or gaslighting. It doesn't make sense otherwise. And that's why I had to stop working at the company I was priorly with, because holy crap. Passing by the conference room, I spot a young woman inside. She's typing on her laptop at great speed with a grin on her face. I think better of interrupting her, but then she pushes away from the table, rolling back on her chair with a relieved sigh. I knock next to the open door and introduce myself. She says her name is Cecilia Lowe. You look like someone who just finished a big task. A part of one, and it took only twice as long as estimated, as opposed to the usual thrice. Oh, so why so long? I don't get it. Why does it always take so much longer than estimated? Bureaucracy. Despite all the big company talking of charting our own destinies, we still have to meet deadlines. When we set our goals, we're encouraged to make work estimates that fit milestone dates set by management. They set the timeline for you to work you created for yourself. You got it, and if we miss a milestone, the money, people get mad. And so to make up for the low estimate sweet crunch, work overtime. This particular estimate wasn't as hard to overcome since it's something I'm actually excited about. And what is it you're working on? Cecilia Lowe's eyes widen. She puts her hands up to her sides like she's holding an invisible beach ball. The nuclear option. Nuclear? Yeah, it's the option that lets a user nuke their R8R account. Every post, pic, DM, like rating, gone. Of course, we have to keep an archive on our servers for legal reasons, but they'll have the freedom to be free. What happens now if someone wants to leave? Well, they'd have to delete it all at once, click confirm, all while having to revisit interactions with execs and trolls. I'm gonna go with Wright's priorities suck. What you're trying to build should have been there from the start. What was Wright thinking? Well, it's what happens around here, right? People start following their muse and end up chasing dollar signs they might not even realize. I kind of wonder if that's what's gotten into Danny. Danny? You did not hear about Danny Bright yet? Oh, he was the team leader on the project I'm doing now. He's one of those kid geniuses, graduated high school early, full ride to Stanford. He's been here for 2 years already, but he's only 20. He could have had his own startup. Why did Danny Bright stop leading your team? He lost interest, found something he wanted to do more, and went off into a corner. I haven't seen him in months. Once Danny went solo, everyone else on the team did the same, leaving just me, last idealist standing, I guess. Saying it out loud makes Cecile Lowe see the reality of it. She suddenly looks like she could sleep for days. Felt like we were actually making progress before, but maybe it'd help if I could figure out why my queries won't update the data source? Sorry, I've got so much to do and no end in sight. Seems like the final result will be worth it, but getting there's been a real slog. Keep at it. If you start to lose your drive, just remember what you're doing this for. It's more than a paycheck.
You're an idiot. Shut up. You encourage Cecilia to focus on her work.
I will, thanks.
I wish Cecilia well. The rhythmic clacks of her timing fade as I make my way down the hall. It occurs to me that only R8R users can be Ashtagged. If Ashtag is doing more than making predictions, it's responsible for deaths. Cecilia's work would be way of opting out whenever it's finally finished. Who knows how many more will die between now and then? Who knows how much, if anything, about what's happening? Doggett texts me to meet him outside. I hope Kamari Notes will shake something loose. I learned that I don't want to work here, but a whole lot not of anything else. What about you? I had another talk with Mr. Ty Wright. I guess you could say it was man to man.
Oh, really?
I can see it now. Steely John Doggett browbeating Ty Wright into submission, Wright spilling his guts out of fear. Or maybe Doggett played the locker room talk angle. I could usually get my fellow Marines to confide in me that way. Who knows?
So, how did that go down? What did you get out of him?
As far as I can tell, he isn't lying about the Ashtag account. He doesn't really know anything. Everyone else I interviewed was too worried about keeping their jobs or finding new ones to be of any use. Just seemed to care about themselves.
Someone mentioned a missing coder. Did you happen to come across a Danny Bright, younger guy? Someone said she was, hadn't seen him in months.
I heard about the kid. Didn't see him, but there are a lot of locked doors my pass card wouldn't work on. Hard to tell if someone's working in one of those rooms, telecommuting or just playing hooky.
Doggett, what are we looking at here? I mean, there's a lot wrong in those offices. But nothing criminal, nothing that tells us anything about Ashtag or how this is an X-File.
I talked to Pierce today. He's working with your guy Fulton. He says he might have a theory, but that I won't like it.
What does that mean?
He's gonna propose how this is an X-File, which means he'll consult with his chief researcher, which means things are about to get stranger.
We head back to the hotel. Doggett has plans to visit a friend while he's in town, and Fulton and Pierce are still on campus. So I'm left to my own devices. I take a long walk in the brisk early evening until the inviting scents of a bakery cafe draw me in. I sit with chai tea, slowly working on a chef's salad and fresh roll. Then it's back to the hotel for a long shower with my thoughts. I contemplate the appeal of R8R, whether students knew what they were getting into, whether the resulting drama became the appeal for others. I emerge from the bathroom to find that my phone's been blowing up. There's been a new hashtag post. I call Fulton and he tells me the news. He died right before any of us. All I could do was watch. Are you okay? How are you dealing with it?
I'll be alright. It was just kind of freaky, you know? We had him safe and sound.
Help me understand what happened. He died from a violent seizure caused by what?
Medical examiner says Park, the victim, his epileptic meds had somehow been replaced with insulin. The high insulin increased the severities of a seizure. Official word is he died of setup, which is a sudden unexpected death in epilepsy. Local police are checking with the pharmacy about the medication mishap. I think they'll find it was a computer error. Or another hacking.
Why do you say that?
Park's one of the gifted kids who went to college young, developed a thick hide of hubris to protect himself. I'm saying he was a jerk. My theory is someone's manipulating computer-controlled systems to cause these accidental deaths. 3 of the 4 victims have a clear history of cruelty to others. That may be what connects them.
Decent theory. I see how you might get there. Not sure how you'd manipulate all those elements to guarantee someone's death inside of an hour window.
It's called using your big brain. Big brain. No, me neither. I'm having a hard time with any of the explanation for the motive and methods behind Ashtag. Anyway, I need to finish up here. We'll talk tomorrow. I try to sleep, but everything about the case and my day churns through my head. The bitter comment Roberto Alameda made about his ex, Fulton's theory of the deaths as retribution for cruelty. The mood at MM Wright, all their locked doors, the coder Cecile Lowe's frustrations and challenges. I take a shot in the dark by texting "Hey guys," my mysterious hacker contact. If he's really Magic Bullet, one of the people who hacked the X-File, he'd know if they were involved, or he might offer some insight. I doze off, waiting for a reply. When I wake up in the morning, I check my phone. No response. It's like he's not even there. Like, I half remember a dream where Danny Bright, the kid genius I've never even seen, was blocking Cecile Lowe from updating the database. Something clicks into place, like Cecilia Danny Bright sequestered himself. But he's probably somewhere more secluded than a conference room. I call Doggett and tell him to meet me at MM Wright, and then I wake Jenna Mathis and grab a rideshare. I don't mind telling you that I do not appreciate being brought into work before 8. Deal with it. And I don't mind telling you that I don't care. Your pass cards. They tell you who's in there and who isn't, right? I need you to tell me which employees are here right now and where. Ms. Mathis pulls up the list from her tablet. Let's see. Custodial, some early risers, Cecilia Lowe. She's probably worked another all-nighter. What about Danny Bright? Bright Daniel. Yes, he's so... Oh. It says he hasn't left in over 2 weeks. Where is he? Take me there now. Miss Mathis leads me to a server room. She's reluctant to let me in, but I convince her that Danny Bright is in danger. She opens the door. Danny Bright isn't in danger. A plugged-in laptop rests at the center of the room. Around it, grooves appear to have been etched in the concrete floor. The arcane geometry grooves are filled with blood from slashed wrists of a man propped up against the wall. I hear a whimper and a thud behind me. Miss Mathis is passed out in the entrance. I walk over to check on her as Doggett strides down the hall. What the hell's going on? What happened to her? Look inside. We found Danny Bright. I turn back to the room and head towards the body, careful not to step in any blood. His pass card hangs from a lanyard. Sure enough, it's Danny Bright. He's been dead for some time. Doggett looks over the patterns with great puzzlement and crouches in front of the laptop. I join him. Running some kind of code? Looks like gibberish. I see English, Cyrillic. Whoa, there's our mimic in there. Doggett points to the screen. Hey, look at that. Stephen Park. Mandy Patel. All 4 victims and more names. 10 names indented between bits of what looks like nonsense to me. Included on the list are 3 people not on the app. 2 MM Wright employees, and finally, Ty Wright himself. What is this we're looking at, Dexler? This is Ashtag, and his work is far from over. I told you it was someone directly connected to the servers. This is why I could be a really good agent. I'm just saying. Because I believe in things that are real and not real. I also use this thing. My big brain. Big brain. It's not hard to use common sense and deductiveness, okay? It's one of the reasons why I liked X-Files, but I was typically ahead of Mulder and Scully. Anyway, without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down description below, links to social media, Discord, and if you'd like to support me and my content. And without further ado, I will catch you all, beautiful people, next time. Peace.